so we got a full house today.
We had to make room for you and everything.
I'm
blocking the cool set.
I had to give up my comfy chair.
to give up the comfy chairs for you.
Sorry.
The three of us have been, for the last couple weeks, living in the mind of a person that doesn't exist.
Yes, but we've named her. Her name is Sarah Ellenson. Thanks to a random Facebook person who came up with that
person who
we thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So we.
Well, they said Sarah Ellison. We added the
N. Yeah. So slightly modified, but we decided that she was a Midwestern housewife and mom who had never left her hometown of possibly Dayton, Ohio.
We made up a Christian denomination for her.
She has a religion.
She's a Reform Anabaptist.
No, and a Protestant.
No, she's a Reform and a Protestant.
Yeah.
Huh.
Nella wasn't there for this comment.
No, I wasn't. This is new
Too busy
information
writing.
for me.
I think the most interesting thing about writing from this author's point of view is, what does she think is romantic?
Yeah.
And writing these awful characters being awful people to each other. Romantic leads are Lego Brick and our sexy Cthulhu. So he's domineering and overprotective, and to her that's sexy because that means he loves her, and she is wildly insecure and embarrassed of everything she does.
It's been painfully awkward writing.
Yeah. Just to have her be feeling these awful feelings like fear and pain and insecurity and shame.
Shame's a big
crippling embarrassment, and having it romanticized and finding it to be sexy.
Just like 50 Shades.
Yeah.
Not bad, but just awkward is like your... It's the Lovecraft element. It's like I'd be writing like, I am the great one and that is why I cannot go out with you.
That's my favorite line in the whole thing so far. I cannot be your boyfriend.
I've just been wondering how many more times I can have Lego Brick think, oh God, we're just ants to you, aren't we? I'm not worthy. Oh God, why are you even paying any attention to me? We are just ants to you.
I think at the end of the day, it's still a better book than most YA. Kind of unintentionally so, but it's just like
turned out really good. And our ghostwriters are 5 children.
Yeah, Sarah Ellinson's 5 children.
Yes, Sarah Ellinson has 5 children.
The Allison Ellinson.
Allison Ellinson, Marianne Ellison, Matt A, and Matt B. Why does she have 2 children named Matt? Who knows?
It's an Anna-Protestant
Josh Ellinson. Yes, these are Sarah Ellinson's 5 children.
It's an Anna-Protestant tradition to have 2 children named the same name.
Yeah. Matt A and Matt B.
So let's talk a little bit about the process of writing a YA romance novel with 8 people.
8 people. First, we divided it up amongst ourselves, and we gave each of our ghostwriters 2 or 3 smaller sections to write, and then sort of split the rest amongst ourselves. And we had our outline in Google Docs, color-coded it.
Oh yeah, kind of turned out to be a mistake because it's really hard to track changes.
A rainbow cornucopia.
So basically, the way we did it in a sort of efficient manner was with technology, with the wonder and the glory that is Google. Basically, we had one master document, which was where the outline is and where everyone could share ideas and like keep everything straight. What is the class schedule for Lego Brick and all her friends? Who are the teachers?
What does her house look like?
Yeah,
and,
like what
where the settings were happening.
Character outlines. And then everybody had their each an individual doc, which only they could edit, but everyone else could read and leave comments on. So we wrote the first draft of a book in 2 weeks. We are not done by any means, but
it's pretty solid though, and some really good stuff.
Still a better love story than Twilight, as the cliche goes.
So in regards to writing this, I gotta say, like, writing this romance between Lego Brick and Sexy Cthulhu was painful in a way. Like, sometimes the ridiculousness of it would sort of keep it going because it was like, this is so ridiculous, I have to keep writing it. And then other times it was just so painful because it's such a painfully bad relationship.
It's embarrassing to be part of. I mean, I was writing like this for half the time when I wrote.
I think one thing that was really fun about actually outlining it was when we were like talking about how our author was writing about all these locations she'd never been to.
Yeah.
Like our location of Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and we have a
Which
little...
is where it takes place.
Yeah, like we have a little plot cul-de-sac where they go to New York City.
We decided our author would get all her information about New York City from Home Alone 2.
Yeah, it's all like her entire perception of New York City is from Home Alone 2. And so
She
there's
gets everything wrong.
prostitutes everywhere. The plaza is still a hotel.
Yeah.
They can walk everywhere, even if it's like 13 miles apart.
They take a carriage ride, like the World Trade Center's still there. So we didn't go that far, but like
Portsmouth, Rhode Island, where our story takes place. None of us have ever been there. We purposefully did not do any research because we wanted to get it wrong.
Even though
So we're just making up stuff that's there, and then there's this
that
beach
really
over
hurt
here,
me to
and
do, like to not.
they'd have a bonfire on the beach, which I know, like I've never been there, and I know that's like a no bueno.
Yeah. It hurts my soul thinking about how much I've not looked up. What
I thought it was fun. I was like, this is great. All the not researching. This is
The
lazy
other
writing.
funnest part was going through it and having him do awful things to her, like be controlling, or mean, or yell at her, or scare her, and have her be like, "He's so sexy."
Yeah.
And he yells at me like that.
It means he cares.
Yeah, because he just wants to protect me.
What one of the things I was noticing myself trying to figure out how to do is what I've noticed in these books is the info dumps where the author has actually done research.
It's like, here's a list of all my research.
or here's
It
a
has
list.
nothing to
Here's
do-
a list of things I know about that the characters are just going to be discussing for no other reason besides I need to up my word count or something,
Yeah.
or I want them to appear intelligent in some manner.
Oh yes, like her favorite book.
Yeah, and
Of course, we made the favorite book Phantom
Because, you know,
because
as you do.
he's a monster, and I really like it because it's like there's always
He has
like this
inner beauty.
this classic
on
literature
the road
thing.
trip he makes her sing Angel. He thinks it's beautiful.
And we made it so like this woman's never actually read the book; she's just seen the musical.
So she keeps quoting the book, and she's just quoting the musical as if it's so deep and so romantic.
One girl, I forget her name. She suggested The Great Gatsby, and we were originally going to go with that, especially in light of this new movie coming out. But we decided to go with Phantom because, well, it's got like the he's a monster but I love him thing, and we can like play with the musical, but also because it's really not great literature. It's not, the book is not that good. It's like it was like a pulp novel when it was written. That's kind of so old now that people think it's
classic.
Yeah, it's
But-
a classic because it's old. It's like, no, it was kind of a pulp novel that just got really popular.
So
Yeah.
The prose is so beautiful. So poetic. Now what do? We got a first draft almost, pretty much.
Well, now we have to homogenize it because one of the problems with writing with 8 people is, they all have their own voice, and
while the voices are on many of them are very similar, some people are a little wordier than others.
oh yeah,
Some people are so funny.
yeah. And I feel like if one of our goals was to make Uncle Neil like the greatest character in modern literature,
Mission
I
accomplished.
feel like we succeeded.
And when we say we mean the person who wrote
Yeah, I
it.
think we gotta thank Allison for that when she had most of the Uncle Neil
Oh,
chapters.
you guys are gonna love it.
Yeah, Uncle Neil is the bomb. I wish he was in it more.
Yeah. Well, that mission accomplished.
Yeah.
He was our Carlisle.
Yeah.
And he succeeded.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna wish this book was about him.
Yeah, and our good friend Kate is awesome and lovable, and
And our ethnic third wheel, Vic.
yeah,
is-
I think we kind of failed with him, but
Well,
he's
but
our
the thing-
Jacob, so
I mean,
it's
let's
okay.
face it, Jacob doesn't get interesting until the second book anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we find out Vic is actually the final reincarnation of Vishnu,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be Vishnu versus Cthulhu, and we're,
Team Cthulhu!
we're all going to hell.
So we're gonna homogenize. We're gonna take everyone's chapters and do a sweep through. And then we're gonna get it edited.
And then the absolute worst aspect of any remotely sort of kind of professional author, the query process. the worst thing ever.
Writing a query letter, making a plot summary, making submissions.
Yeah, so
Reading.
that will be fun. So we will get help on that and your suggestions and everything, trying to make the query, but we're not there yet. Right now we're editing.
Oh yes, our chapter titles. We decided we're all gonna start with C. One-word titles that mean nothing.
So throw us your...
Complications. Consolation.
Constellations.
Careening. Car.
Choices.
Since we're not done, we're still, as always, open to little details, lips,
If you
character
got a brilliant
details.
idea, we can still fit it in. There's
Yeah.
still time.
And as always, follow us on Twitter, Bidong, and of course the funny, silly Twitter dedicated specifically to this project at Sexy Alien Book. I won't ever change it. It's always
He's
gonna
technically an alien.
Yeah, he's in this.
He's an alien, not from another planet, from another dimension.
Yeah.
Between the spaces.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, and that was another thing about like writing this was I was just like, you know what, we should just be deliberately inconsistent with the
Yeah.
rules of this universe because
Yeah.
the author didn't think too hard. So next week we're going to talk about location a bit, and in the meantime we're just going to edit this sucker, and yeah, love never Toggin.